Hi, good morning. My name is Michelle Alviar. I work as a trainer assessor at AWT, Australia-wide training. So your employer, C. Jones Cafe, have contacted us to deliver a training for you. We were told you've been working at C. Jones Cafe for quite some time now. So we're not going to do a full training, but instead we'll do a partial just to fill in the gaps in your skills and knowledge that you need to apply in your workplace. So before we begin, can you please tell me your name and your job role and how long you've been working at C. Jones Cafe?
My name is Lauren. I've been working for 2 years at C. Jones Cafe. I was working as a barista for 15 years, but now I've been promoted to a team leader.
Oh, congratulations, Lauren. It's a
you.
good news. Okay. So just an icebreaker. Let's say if you go on holiday, like what country would you like to visit and why?
Oh, I definitely would want to visit Japan.
And why is that?
Well, I love the culture in Japan, especially when it comes to Kyoto. And I also love how modernized Tokyo is with all the lights and everything.
Yeah, Japan is really beautiful. You know, I've been to Japan like once and I'm planning to go back, to have holiday again in Japan. It's really beautiful. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so for housekeeping, you're familiar with the place. In case of emergency, you know where the exits are, the evacuation, the master point. So right at the end of the corridor, between right and left, there are 2 exits in that. And also there's an exit at the kitchen area. In case you need to use the toilet or you need some break or you need to receive a call, just let me know so you can step out of the room. And also you have to make sure that your phone is on silent while we're having the discussion, having the training. So the class conduct and behavior, so respect must be demonstrated at all times. Session time, the training will run like 30 minutes, so it includes the training and then the assessment. So to start with, I need you to complete an attendance, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I've emailed to you earlier the copy of the PowerPoint, and also I printed out some handouts, a copy of the PowerPoint just in case you need it, if it's easier for you to read that.
All right, thank you.
Also, I printed out some handouts that we will use for our activity later on. Okay?
Thank you.
So before we begin our training, do you have any questions, Lauren?
Yes, I do have a question. Do you perhaps have a spell checker?
Spell checker?
Yes.
Yeah, you can use the spell checker. As I mentioned in email to you earlier, the PowerPoint, so you can refer to your copy. Otherwise, you can check with Google.
Okay.
Also, I printed a handout for you, a glossary. So some of the terms you may not be familiar with, so this will be really helpful for you, the glossary.
Thank you.
Otherwise, there's also a handout if you want to do some check your spelling. Any more questions?
Yes, just one more. Do you have a screen reader?
Screen reader, yeah. You can use a copy of your PowerPoint that I've emailed to you earlier.
Oh, so it's already provided.
Yeah, so you can, I've emailed it earlier, so you can refer to that. Otherwise, you can use the handout that I've given to you for the PowerPoint.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions, Lauren?
No, thanks.
Okay, so we can proceed now. As I mentioned, I'm here to deliver a training, and that training is regarding the Participate in Safe Work Practice. So the session name or the title of our session is Working Safely at C. Jones Cafe. So the objectives of our training is for you to know how to use the safe work practices at C. Jones Cafe, to identify the dangers, hazards, and how to control those hazards by applying control risk, how to respond and report hazards, incidents, and injuries in your workplace. Now, can you please tell me, Lauren, why is it important to have a safe work practice in your workplace?
It assists to protect ourselves and those around us from any sort of danger that could harm us.
That's right. Yeah. So there are various hazards in the workplace that may cause injury, disease, or at worst could lead to death. So it's very important to apply those safe work practices so to prevent any harm or injuries to yourself and to others, and also as well to know, to eliminate, to reduce, or to prevent, those hazards, so prevent it from happening again. So in Australia, in the workplace, everyone follows a work health and safety laws or occupational safety laws. It depends on which area in Australia you're living or you're working. So for instance, in Western Australia, it's implemented the Work Health and Safety Act 2020. So, and you can access, if you want some further information regarding that act, you can access the link, which you have a copy as well on your PowerPoint and the handout that I've given to you earlier. So legal rights and obligations of employers and employees, which you can see as well on Work Health and Safety Act 2020. So employers' obligation, can you please tell me what are some of the employers' obligations?
It is the employer's responsibility or obligation to talk about health and safety to their employees. It could be in the form of safety staff meetings and
Yes.
vice versa.
Also like providing some seminars, to further, some information, like let's say use of chemicals or something like that, use of machinery, something like that, or like manual handling. You're right with that one. Also, it's their obligation to provide some personal protective equipment that is very essential, for the workers to use while they're carrying out their duties. Talk about provide training and supervision, as I mentioned earlier, how to use, the equipment, provide workers compensation insurance, and also to talk about health and safety. Like for instance, there's an incident that happened in the workplace, and if it needs to be reported to relevant authority for like investigation. Okay. So employers' rights. So employers has the right to expect employees to follow work health safety practices. They also have the right to hire and dismiss employees according to fair work legislations, according to state they are into. Also, they have the right to act professionally and responsibly at all times. So on the other end, employees also has an obligation and rights. So if you can please tell me some of the employees' obligations.
It is important for the employee to look after the health and safety of themselves and those around them. This could be like reporting hazards around the workplace so they could protect themselves and everyone else.
That's right, Lauren. Yeah, so that would fall as well under to follow work health safety instructions and practices to report any hazards, risks, or incidents, or if there's any injury. So for them to protect themselves and protect others in the workplace, and to prevent that same situation from happening again. Also, the employer has the right to for the use of the PPE and to attend trainings and to follow safe work practices. So they have the obligation to use the PPE and attend trainings and follow safe work practices. Now, employees also has the right to have a safe and healthy work environment, to be consulted on safe work practices, to have trainings on safe work practices, like for instance, use of equipment, to say no to unsafe work practices. Is there anything you can add, Lauren?
So for that point, to have a safe and healthy work environment, so you could say that they also have the right to certain facilities like bathroom or locker room, so that provides a comfortable and safe workplace environment for them.
That's right. Yes. You're correct with that one. Yeah, good thinking about that one. Yeah. So apart from that, they also know needs to be provided by the employer of the PPE and the uniforms. Okay, and also for workers' compensation and a fair and just workplace. So failure to comply on Work Health and Safety Act 2020 by the employer or the employees may result to paying fines and penalty. Could be like imprisonment for an individual or potential closure or shutdown of the business. So we'll do a bit of activity regarding that topic. So if you could please prepare your handout and get the activity which the same as you're seeing on the screen. You got it?
Yep.
Okay, so activity, health and safety, who's responsible? So who has responsibility for these things in the workplace? So tick the boxes. So tell me if it's the employer or employee responsibility, and we'll go through this together. Okay, so number 1, organize safety training.
The employer,
Attend safety training.
the employee,
Provide necessary safety equipment.
the employer,
Make sure all equipment in safe condition.
both of them,
That's right. Provide personal protective equipment.
the employer,
Use correct PPE as required.
both of them,
Provide safety and operational manuals and signages.
the employer,
Okay, so follow workplace procedures.
both of them,
Yes, that's right. Provide proper toilets and lunchrooms.
the employer,
That's correct. Consider the safety of others. Like, don't behave in a way that puts others at risk.
both of them,
That's right. Don't come to work if you are affected by drugs or alcohol.
both of them,
Provide training on identifying and dealing with workplace hazards.
the employer,
Actually, like both of them as well. Like attend safety trainings.
both of them,
Yeah, that's right. Contribute ideas about how to make the workplace safer.
both of them,
Report any hazards or injuries.
both of them,
Make sure chemicals are stored safely.
both of them,
Use chemicals according to workplace procedure.
the employee.
That's right. Okay, you've done well, Lauren.
Thank you.
Now for our next topic, we're going to discuss the hazards and risks. So all workplace should identify, should have the system and the process on how to identify the risk, how to remove or lessen the related risk. Okay, do you know what's a hazard and risk?
Yeah, so a hazard is like what makes a person or property subjected to any harm or injury. And risk is just the chance or the level of the hazard.
When they are exposed to.
Well, yeah, when
hazard,
they're
yeah.
exposed to.
Yeah, so hazard is anything that could cause harm or injury to people, and that's including property as well. So risk is the chance or probability of harm if people or property are exposed to hazard. So employers must know how to identify the hazard and the related risks, to apply the controls or the recommended controls to solve the problem with that hazard, to report health and safety concerns in the workplace. So as I mentioned, there are various hazards in your workplace at St. John's Cafes. Like one of these hazards is physical hazards, and the potential risk is opposite to that. So for instance, in physical hazard, wet floor and obstructions in the workplace. So potential risk is like slips, trips, falls, or it may cause fractures, dislocation of bones, or concussion or bruising, and worst if it leads to death. So next one, like for hot surfaces, like in the kitchen area, so hot surfaces, hot liquid and steam cooking. Can you please tell me what's the potential risk for that one?
You can get burns and scalds.
That's right, yep. Can you give me another example of a physical hazard?
Physical hazard. So there can be like sharp knives in the kitchen or when you're cutting vegetables. That could be a hazard.
Yeah, so that could, what's the potential risk for that?
You can get cuts or even contamination if you get that cut.
Yeah, and like cuts or laceration. Okay, another one is a manual handling, like lifting of heavy object or like repetitive task or like an awkward posture. So it could, potential risk for that is the musculoskeletal disorders such as the damage to joints, ligaments, and muscles. So another type of hazard is a chemical hazard. So this is improper use, storage of like hazardous chemicals or substances. Like for instance, the cleaning materials or substances or insecticides. So the potential risk for that is like if you inhale that hazardous chemical, it can cause you like respiratory problems, or if you touch it without using a gloves or PPE, you can have like a skin irritation. Another example or like other hazards is the fire and electrical hazard, such as like using faulty equipment or exposed wire, flammable substances. The potential risk for that is fire, electrical shock, burns, or even death. Also noise, like using loud equipment which could damage your hearing. Workplace violence or bullying, it could be like a customer to staff interaction, or it could be a staff to staff interaction. The potential risk of that is physical aggression, and apart from physical, it can also be like a psychological, which could have an impact of stress or mental health problem to the staff or the person involved. So we'll do another activity. If you could please get in your handout, a common incident in hospitality. Okay. You able to find that one?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. So activity common incidents in hospitality. So listed below are some common activities done in the hospitality industry. What could go wrong while you are doing the task? So what injuries could result? So the activity is moving kegs of beer. So possible incident, drop the keg on your foot, and the possible injury is break or bruise your toes. Okay, so can you please answer the next one, Lauren?
The possible incident is for the activity, cooking with hot oil.
Yep.
You could touch that hot heat source,
Mhm.
which would result in burns or scalds
Yes.
as an injury.
Okay, that's right. Next one is mixing up cleaning chemicals.
You can inhale toxic chemicals, and the result of that
Mhm.
injury, the resulting injury, sorry,
Yep.
is it can lead to respiratory issues, like you mentioned.
Yes, or like skin irritation could like poisoning as well,
Yes.
breathing problems. Yeah,
Mm.
that's right. Walking on a greasy floor in the kitchen.
So the incident for that, or the hazard, would be slippery floor. There's
Mhm.
water on the floor whatsoever, greasy floor.
Yeah.
So the injury for that, it can lead to slips or falls, and it would lead to a bigger problem, like let's say head injury,
Yeah.
or like you mentioned before, even death.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, bruising, dislocation, or fractures. Yeah. And the last one, hurrying while chopping vegetables.
So you could accidentally cut yourself while chopping, and that would lead to cuts, like obviously.
Mhm.
And it could also lead to contamination from bacteria and vice versa.
Yeah, also, yeah. Okay, so cuts and laceration. That's good. Okay. So after we discuss the hazard and the risk, so in the workplace, if you see any hazard or risk, you need to report it to your employer or supervisor, or report it to a health and safety representative if you've got one at your workplace. So they'll be able to apply the recommended controls. So we're going to discuss those controls. So we call it the hierarchy of controls, as you can see in the pyramid. So the first one is to eliminate or like literally physically remove the hazard. So an example of that is like there is a spill on the floor, or you're moving some stuff or items from the receiving area to the storage room. So there are clutters on the walkway, the pathway. So what you're going to do is to eliminate those hazards by removing it or declutter the area. Next one is substitute or replace the hazard. So a good example of that is the cleaning materials. So if your company or like using a toxic cleaning materials, which could potentially make a problem of breathing problems or skin irritation. So sometimes it's better to use a water-based cleaning materials. So another one is another control is isolate. So isolate the people from the hazard. So that means separate the hazard. So an example of that is a greasy floor or like a wet floor. Someone's cleaning the kitchen. So that's a hazard because it's a wet floor, could be a slippery floor. So what we're going to do is to put a warning sign such as wet floor or like cleaning in progress. Another one is the engineering controls or engineer out the hazards, which is to change the equipment. So a good example of that is like when you receive a stock or big items and you need to transfer it to the storage room. So instead of doing it manually, which is really risky for you as physically, you use a trolley to transfer boxes from the receiving area to the storage room. Another one is administrative control, or change the way people work. So change work practices. So providing training and equipment, manual instruction for safe use of the equipment and the machinery. Last, bottom part of the pyramid for hierarchy of controls is the use of personal protective equipment. Are you familiar with that? Can you please give me an example of that, Lauren?
Yes, in my workplace we use aprons, sometimes gloves, and we also ensure that we wear closed shoes.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so gloves, goggles, aprons, safety shoes, as you've mentioned. Sometimes you also use that earplug if there's like loud noises.
Yeah, okay.
Loud noises in that area. Okay, alright, we're done. So to protect, so use PPE to protect the worker with personal protective equipment. So after we use the apply the hierarchy, any of this hierarchy of controls for the hazard or risk, we need to review and monitor if those applied control risk is effective or not. So now we'll go through the safety signs. So these are the safety signs that you may not see in your workplace. So as I mentioned earlier, caution slippery floor, emergency exit, caution health sign, fire extinguisher, as like where to locate the fire extinguishers in your workplace, use of protective equipment like protective clothing. Okay, so we've got another activity to do. So if you can please refer to your handout. You have your handout?
Yeah.
Okay, so activity safety signs in your workplace. So circle the warning signs you have seen in your work area. So can you please circle it? Okay, so what's your answer?
So I'm familiar with all of those signs in my workplace area except for the yellow one, the forklifts in use.
Okay, yeah. So forklifts in use, normally they use this signage in like a bigger company or a manufacturing company where they transfer a huge or a large item from one place to like a storage or in the next place. Okay, so forklift in use. Okay, so far you're doing okay. Any questions?
I don't have.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so we'll proceed. So report health and safety concerns. As we mentioned, everyone in the workplace have the right to feel and be safe in the work environment. We also have the responsibility not to cause harm or any injury to yourself or to anyone in the workplace. And that's including the people in the workplace, like the customers or anyone from in the workplace, let's say like a delivery guy, something like that. And if there's any health and safety concerns, we should report it as they arise. We should report it to our supervisor, to the employer, to the health and safety representative. So to prevent any harm or injury and prevent same situation from happening again. So as you can see here on the screen and in your copy on your handout, we have this hazard control tool form, which your company, C. Jones Cafe, use. Also, this hazard control form is a tool that assists to find solutions in eliminating or reducing the hazard that has a potential risk of harm. So this is used like to investigate the hazard. So for instance, form completed by, so the name of the staff, see it, so describe the hazard and location. Let's say spills like water on the floor. So this and water on the floor and location, it's in the kitchen. So assess it. So how likely is it that someone will get hurt? So most likely, the chances of someone will get hurt is like high. It's highly likely, or it could be like around 4 to 5, especially if the person didn't see the spill. So how serious would the harm be if there was an incident? So it could range like from not serious to very serious. It depends on how the person, who had the accident would fall. Let's say a fall could like lead to like break a skull or something like head and injury. So that could be serious. It could potentially lead to death. So how are you gonna fix that hazard? Does it need to be like immediate or temporary control? or it has to be a permanent control. So does it need to be resolved straight away or right now or for a little while, but not a solution forever? Or it needs to be a solution like straight away, and it has to be like a permanent solution. So another form that you encounter, or are you familiar with the hazard report form?
Yeah, I'm
Have you seen
familiar
that
with
in
it.
the workplace?
Yeah.
Okay, and then incident report, which you're going to use later, an activity, and then an injury report. Okay, so if you can please refer to your handout, Lauren, as we're going to do another activity. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the activity is, I'm going to give you an activity, so you need to identify the hazard and report it to your supervisor. So this is a bit of a role play. You're a good actress.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, yeah. So the scenario is, it's a kitchen staff has used sandwich press for a customer's order, and she forgot it and unplugged the equipment. So you are about to clean the sandwich press and have touched the hot surface, causing to burn your hands. So your task is to identify the hazard, the potential risk of harm, how to address the hazard, the incident, if there's any injury that you sustain, and how you're going to prevent the same situation from happening again. And then after that, we're going to complete some forms, some documentation. Okay, are you ready with that, Lauren?
Yep.
Okay, so if you can please stand up, I've got some items here with me. So I've got a sandwich press, okay? And then some items that you may use, so just feel free to choose on how you're going to do your role play.
Alright. So my responsibility as the employee, I have to clean the toasty or sandwich press. So I'll be putting on my PPE, my personal protective equipment, and in this case I'm going to be using gloves and an apron. I'll also have my hair tied up, and I'll also wear closed shoes. So as I'm about to clean the sandwich press, ow, I burnt my hand.
Okay.
So the hazard is, this is a hot heat source and it's still on, and the risk was getting a burn. So I noticed that the plug to the socket, it's still on. The sandwich maker is still on. So what I do is I will unplug it from the socket. So now it's off. Then I will put a cautionary sign that indicates that the device or the item is still hot.
Yeah, this one, okay.
So this alerts other employees or my colleagues that it is a dangerous item because it's still hot.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
I'm going to approach my supervisor to inform her, in that case that would be you,
Yeah.
to inform her that I just got injured and I need first aid.
Okay, that's right. Perfect, okay. So after that, what else are you going to do?
So after that, I will probably fill out an injury form or hazard, what's the
Okay.
other one? Incident?
report.
Yes.
Okay. If you can please take your seat, and then we're going to do that incident hazard report. So if you can refer to your handout, please.
Yeah.
And start completing your hazard, incident, and injury report. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just finished.
If you can please go through with your hazard report.
Yeah. Alright, so for my hazard report, I wrote down my name, which is Lauren.
Yep.
My role as the team leader, and I'm from the Department of the Kitchen.
Mhm.
So the date is the 6th of October. That's what I recall. So the issue that's about to be addressed is that I burned my hand on the hot sandwich press. So the location of that hazard was at the kitchen, and I reported it to the supervisor, which is you, Michelle from the management department.
Okay. The incident report.
The incident report, I wrote the time, which is 10 a.m., 6th of October, that's the date. The location of the incident is the kitchen. So what happened was that I burned my hand on the hot sandwich maker, and action that was taken was that I run my burnt hand under cold water for 20 minutes. There was no damage to the property in that situation, and I reported it to the team leader. Sorry, I reported it to the supervisor, Michelle. I reported it to the supervisor, Michelle, and my role is the team leader.
Okay, and then for injury report?
So I wrote down my name as Lauren. The address is WA, specifically Belmont. I wrote down my phone number from the Department of the Kitchen. My role is the team leader. The date of the injury is the 6th of October at 10 a.m., but it was reported at 10:02 a.m. The injury took place at the kitchen, and the injury was that I burnt my hand, my left one. And how I was injured was that I touched a hot sandwich maker, and prior to that I was supposed to be washing dishes. So the action that was taken was that I was sent home and sent to the doctor, and I wrote my name as the person filling the form.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so actually that's pretty much our training. So just a recap. So we aimed our goal like for you to know how to use the safe work practices in the workplace, how to identify hazards and control risk, and how to respond and report hazard injuries and incidents at your workplace. Do you have any question, Lauren?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm gonna hand you a feedback form. If you can complete it and return it to me, please.
Thank you.
You done?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. And that's the end of our training. Thank you, Lauren.